This episode of Dipping Milk and Cookies is dedicated to Troy Lebecki and to the entire Lebecki family. Studio DMC sends their deepest condolences to you and yours. The 80s saw the collapse of traditional communism and the ending of the Cold War. Microsoft, IBM, Intel, and Apple began to have an impact on all our lives as small computers became cheaper and more widespread, including home use and business use. Famine in Ethiopia causes major music stars to band together to raise money and awareness, and the early beginnings of mobile phone technology gets cheaper and smaller. In other words, the 80s were fucking lit. It was the dawn of the technological world, which spawned hundreds, if not thousands, of new patents, which we still use to this day. We're going to go over some of the most standout things from the golden age of the 80s on today's retro episode of... Mike, help me out.
Dipping Milk in Cookies.
Yahtzee!
Welcome to Dipping Milk in Cookies with your host Garrett Cookie Smith and Michael Milkman Segovia. Go ahead and cue that outro.
All right. Welcome to another awesome episode of Dipping Milk and Cookies. Guys, I am Garrett, your Cookie Commander Smith. With me, as always, the best bud in the whole wide world, Michael, Master Motherfucking Milk Segovia. Sup there, player?
You know.
Yeah. We decided to do an episode on the 80s. I'm trying to spice up the topics. I've got my notebook on me at all times, and I constantly ask people when I'm out and about, just like, hey, what do you think would be a cool podcast subject? And then whatever they say, I just write down, and that's how we came across the 80s. This is actually no, this was our idea. This
is part of the 5 that we just spit out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how we're gonna start. Picking our topics, I think, because then that makes everybody, gets everybody a little bit more involved, so to speak. But yeah, we're gonna jump into the 80s. We're just gonna go through every year. You've gathered some facts. I've gathered some stuff. The most standout topics and events from the 80s. So yeah, let's jump into it. Mike, if you actually want, you can grab the tablet out of the bedroom there. It's on Emily's nightstand. In the meantime, I will get us going here. A lot of shit happened in the 80s. The 80s were a lit decade, man. I mean, not to mention all of the cocaine the cocaine explosion in the 80s that really fueled a whole lot of crazy shit. And that's literally just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. But yeah, let's jump into it. 1980. It's a weird year. But 1980 was the year that Mount St. Helens erupted in Washington State. The volcano is located in the Cascade Mountains in Washington. It roared and expelled plumes of ash, killing 57 people. Let me type that in. There we go. Killed 57 people and is still the most destructive eruption in modern U.S. history. It's really crazy. Fun fact, my sister was actually living in Seattle at the time when Mount St. Helens... no, where was she? I don't think she was in Washington. She was in Oregon. She was in Oregon, I think. No. Who the hell? I'm trying to think of somebody. I know somebody that was around the volcano when that bitch went up. And they weren't like immediately next to it or near it, but like it was in the distance and they could see like the eruption. Yeah. That's fucking wild, dude. Could you imagine that shit? Well, I mean,
no.
Yeah, Yellowstone's gonna erupt any day, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the movie Volcano a handful of times. I think I got the idea what to do.
All right, let me ask you, Volcano or Dante's Peak?
Which one do I like better? That's a good one.
Tommy Lee Jones, Pierce Brosnan. Two-Face? James Bond.
The Pierce Brosnan one always kind of fucks me up with the scene with the grandma gets in the acid water and she pulls it like
Like a badass.
But then too, it's just like Tommy Lee Jones, like anything he does where he's just like telling people what to do to make the situation better. It's just like, yes,
That's it. Yeah.
give me Volcano.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say there's your winner then. Yeah, Volcano is great. I'm a little bit more inclined towards Dante's Peak just because that's my mom used to watch that shit. She loves that movie, so I'm more inclined to that one. But I do enjoy Volcano, and it's such a weird premise for a movie. You got a fucking volcano in the middle of Los Angeles. What the fuck? Okay, let's figure out how we fix this problem. But clearly, Tommy Lee Jones and TLJ, he knows what's up. Let's see, what else here? John Lennon. John Lennon is shot and died. On the evening of December 8th, 1980, English musician John Lennon, formerly of the Beatles, was fatally shot in the archway of the Dakota, his residence in New York City. The perpetrator was Mark David Chapman, an American Beatles fan who had traveled from Hawaii specifically to take out this dastardly deed. Chapman stated that he was angered by Lennon's lifestyle and public statements, especially his much publicized remark about the Beatles being more popular than Jesus, quote unquote, and the lyrics of his later songs God and Imagine. Chapman also said he was inspired by the fictional character Holden Caulfield from J.D. Salinger's novel The Catcher in the Rye. To this day, you can ask. Like, ask your mom, ask your dad next time you see him. Just like, hey, where were you when Lennon got shot? I guarantee you they'll know the answer.
That's like for us with the World Trade Centers.
Exactly.
When that happened.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is like, how crazy is it that literally a social icon can create that kind of trauma? You know what I mean? Like, people were fucking distraught when they found out.
That's like Paul Walker too.
Yeah.
When Paul Walker died.
But Paul Walker, that's different because that was a car accident.
Well, yeah.
That wasn't an assassination.
But I mean, for some people, I meant in terms of for some people, they're able to still like remember like what I was doing.
Yeah,
when I
everybody,
found out,
everybody's shell shocked,
Yeah.
That's a real thing for sure. But yeah, that's crazy that it was a tidal wave that enveloped the entire planet when John Lennon got shot. That was fucking crazy. Could you imagine having that kind of like influence on people? That's fucking it's crazy to think that somebody could reach that kind of level of influence just by playing music, and I mean, I know it obviously goes far beyond just playing music. Like, the guy was a revolutionary. Like, his thought process was so ahead of its time that like people obviously were like, well, I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, man, acid will do that to you.
Yeah.
He's a prophet. No, he just takes lots of acid.
Oh, it's all the blotter, bro. Let's see here. The popular video game, arcade game Pac-Man was released in 1980. Pac-Man, if you don't know what Pac-Man is, you're a fucking chance. Pac-Man is a maze arcade game developed and released by Namco in 1980. The original Japanese title of this is funny. The original Japanese title of the game was Puck-Man, P-U-C-K-Man, but was changed to Pac-Man for international releases as a preventative measure against defacement of the arcade machines by changing the P to an F. So instead of it being Puck-Man, it'd be Fuck-Man. That's probably a good call. Good call, Bob. That's why you get paid the big bucks, buddy. Outside Japan, the game was published by Midway Games as part of its licensing agreement with Namco America. The player controls Pac-Man, who must eat all the dots inside an enclosed maze while avoiding 4 colored ghosts. Eating large flashing dots called Energizers causes the ghosts to turn blue, allowing Pac-Man to eat them for bonus points. Many of quarters fucking wasted on the old Pac-Man arcade cab. For sure. Who doesn't love Pac-Man?
I have it on my phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Now.
That's like literally, it's the one game that like no matter what, if you got like 2 minutes, yeah, I'll play it, whatever.
Yeah, my daughter plays it all the time.
Hell yeah.
She's like, Dad, Pac-Man.
Yeah,
like, no,
fucking
all right.
hell yeah, baby.
I'll tell you how I play.
You got it. Yeah, right. Oh my god, that fucking meme I shared the other day. It's just like when your nephew asks you if you want to play Mario Kart. It's just like the picture from like whatever game that is. It's like, do you want to destroy this child? It's like
both
no,
yes.
Yeah.
Double yes.
Ah, man. Let's see here. Ronald Reagan, he's elected as the President of the United States. The 1980 United States presidential election was the 49th quadrennial presidential election. It was held on Tuesday, November 4th, 1980. Republican nominee Ronald Reagan defeated incumbent Democrat Jimmy Carter in a landslide victory. Carter was the second incumbent president to be denied a second term since Herbert Hoover in 1932. Fucking loser. Due to the rise of conservatism following Reagan's victory, some historians consider the election to be a realigning election that marked the start of the Reagan era. I remember. I mean, I don't remember because I wasn't born yet, but like going back into like the history books and everything, I remember people being like, "Fucking what? You want to fucking what? You want to put a movie star in the what? No. Raise your hand next time you want to talk to me. Like, do your homework before you raise your hand, kind of thing." But then it turned out that Reagan came in and he did some work. He definitely did some work.
People love that, man. I just saw a fucking dude. He had a bumper sticker that said, "I miss Reagan."
Yeah.
I was driving out the walk shot yesterday, and I saw that shit. And I was like, "That's funny."
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, I mean, after his first term, like everybody was like, "All right, fucking Hollywood knows what's up.
Run it back."
Yeah, run it back. Exactly, run it back. Last thing I got in here for the 1980, the United States boycott of the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. In 1980, the United States led a boycott of the Summer Olympic Games in Moscow to protest the late 1979 Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. In total, 65 nations refused to participate in the games, whereas 80 countries sent athletes to compete. Now, if anybody has ever seen the movie Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Julia Roberts, that movie is directly involved with that Soviet invasion in Afghanistan. America was feeding Afghanistan weaponry to fight the Soviets, which it worked. It worked, but then became like the biggest fucking backfire ever because we went in there and we were like, here's a bunch of shit. A bunch of guns, a bunch of ammo, a bunch of explosives, all this shit. Go kill the Soviets because we want to help you, but we don't like the Russians. Just get them out of there. Just do it. You got it. And they did. They pushed them back, and they did what they were supposed to do. But then, as soon as it was done, and Afghanistan was just completely war torn, America was just like, "Who? Us? Me? You want us to do what? Come rebuild?"
Oh no! We gave you the stuff.
No. That wasn't part of the deal.
Go sell your shit.
Right?
And I think they did.
Right. Yeah, and then all these fucking crazy splinter cells started up because, like, dude, the average age of the population after that skirmish with the Soviet Union, 14 to 18, they're kids.
Yeah,
they're all kids. And there's nothing left. There's no schools left. There's no adults really there to point them in the right direction. It's just them and their devices, which is a lot of fucking military equipment that they got from us. So, like, yeah, you want to talk about your all-time backfires. Yeesh. Fucking yikes, buddy. Yikes. So, yeah, that's all I had for for 1980. What do you got? What do you got going on over there?
Well, I was just going to do some, like, pop culture stuff and then highlight some famous birthdays from the 1987 year.
Okay. All right, tell you what, let's save that then. Let's pound through this real quick, and then we'll do that stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving to 1981, first thing that popped up, Lady Diana Spencer, also known as, which she would become, Princess Di. She marries Charles, the Prince of Wales. The wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana took place on Wednesday, July 29th, 1981, at St. Paul's Cathedral in London, United Kingdom. God, I can't fucking read today. The groom was the heir to the British throne, and the bride was a member of the Spencer family. Their marriage was widely billed as a fairy tale wedding and the wedding of the century. It was watched by an estimated global TV audience of 750 million people. That is wild. That's like a majority of the planet. How many people? There's 7 billion people on the planet.
That'd be like...
All right, so yeah, never mind.
That'd be like 2 of the United States watching it.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Events were held around the Commonwealth to mark the wedding. Many street parties were held throughout the United Kingdom to celebrate the occasion. The couple separated in 92 and divorced in 96 after 15 years of marriage. And then obviously we all know what happened to Princess Di.
He had her killed.
Yep, basically. Oh man, and that's right there. Boom, is where I'm gonna cue in a nice little sound effect. The cable network MTV is launched. This was a big thing. MTV, originally an initialism of music television, is an American cable channel launched on August 1st, 1981. Based in New York City, it serves as the flagship property of the Viacom-CBS Domestic Media Networks division of Viacom-CBS. Also headquartered in New York City. Do you fucking got it? Do you mind?
Yeah, me laughing
I'm
about it.
yeah. All right. Keep it down, Rona. MTV was originally first tested on December 1st, 1977 as Sight on Sound, but was officially launched in 1981 and originally aired music videos as guided by television personalities known as video jockeys or VJs. But in the years since its inception, the network significantly toned down its focus on music in favor of original reality programming targeting teenagers and young adults. And I say, boo! Boo to you, sir. That is the dumbest fucking thing you possibly could have done with that channel, because that's the whole point of MTV. It was music. Music television, not fucking reality television all goddamn day. And I
used to watch Jersey Shore. I don't want to hear it.
No, I did not. Never have I ever. Michael. All right, we're going to fight after this, because never have I ever. I've watched it.
I remember I watched it too.
Because you wanted to watch it.
No, Robin watched it, and we would all talk about it when we go to the bar. Remember we did our little GTL thing for a little bit? See, you're activating my cough because you're making me upset. It's like a defense
I
mechanism.
think this card is fucking activating your cough because it's like empty.
Well, it's almost empty, yeah.
Fucking guy. But yeah.
Oh.
Shut up. But yeah, I stopped watching MTV probably like freshman year of high school, because that's when it stopped doing music videos. Because I would wake up in the morning, they'd have music videos on in the morning. I would watch music videos while I was getting ready for school, and then I would come home from school and I'd usually watch TRL, just because that was the biggest shit.
Countdown shit.
Exactly, yeah. So I would watch. I'd put that on the background for ambiance, but yeah, as soon as like Jersey Shore and like what's the
Real World?
Well,
Road
I've
Rules?
always when they started doing the challenge, like Real World
Fucking
versus
stupid,
Road
man.
Rules, that's just a money grab. But I mean, obviously it worked because they've been making it forever. But what's the fucking kids having kids show? Teen Mom.
Yeah.
Teen Mom. As soon as that hit that station, I was like, yep. Wipe my hands clean. I'm done.
Which is just, to me, it's stupid. It's almost like glorifying
It
that
is.
situation.
It is. Which is so dumb. It's so dumb. You wonder why we have a problem with fucking teenagers having babies. Like, you put it on TV like it's a cool thing, you fucking jackasses.
Oh, well, if they can do it, I should be able to do it too,
Yeah,
right?
why not? I should have a show. Why don't I have a show? You
Because you're fucking ugly and no one likes you.
Right, exactly. Okay, moving on. The AIDS virus is identified in the United States by scientists in 1981. The human immunodeficiency virus, otherwise known as HIV, are two species of lentivirus, a subgroup of retrovirus that infect humans. Over time, they cause acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is AIDS, a condition in which progressive failure of the immune system allows life-threatening, opportunistic infections and cancers to thrive. Without treatment, average survival time for infection with HIV is estimated to be 9 to 11 years. Let's add some magic about that one. Depending on the HIV subtype, in most cases, HIV is a sexually transmitted infection and occurs by contact with or transfer of blood, pre-ejaculate, semen, and vaginal fluids. Research has shown for both same-sex and opposite-sex couples that HIV is untransmittable through condomless sexual intercourse if the HIV-positive partner has a consistently undetectable viral load. Non-sexual transmission can occur from an infected mother to her infant during pregnancy, during childbirth by exposure to her blood or vaginal fluid, and through breast milk. Within these bodily fluids, HIV is present as both free virus particles and virus within infected immune cells. I don't know what half that shit just meant,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very, very serious thing back in the 80s, man. You want to talk about like some real fucking panic? Holy shit. When that shit hit the fucking scene, man, people were going batshit. And that's where a lot of the stigma and hatred towards homosexuality comes from, is because it was always thought like, and truth be told, like it didn't help, but it really wasn't that much of a percentage of like people being infected.
No, it came out and they're like, who do we blame for this?
Yeah.
Blame the gays.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's how fucking shallow-minded people.
Well, that's
were
how the
back in
media
80s.
works, man. They just push it off onto somebody else, man. So it's just,
Well, but no, you're absolutely right. But I'm just saying, like, as far as like how far we've come, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
40 years ago, you know, like,
yeah, we're still shitheads.
well, yeah, absolutely. But at least now we're compassionate shitheads, where we, we'll at least acknowledge that you exist. Back then, it was just like, yeah, no, it was the fucking gay guys. They're just butt fucking all the time, just spreading it everywhere. Like, I'm gonna get it, and like, guys, it's not really how it works.
It's the blacks, the
So,
gays.
Yeah, that's
Come on,
fucking
guys.
human nature is just disgusting at times. And the
the
thing that
fucking-
sucks is it doesn't change. That's what's
Right,
terrifying.
40 years later, we're still in the
40
same
years
bullshit.
later, yeah, we're still having the same fucking arguments. Stupid. It's very stupid. Let's see what else we got. Anwar Sadat, the Egypt. Oh, before we continue though, that fucking Magic Johnson thing. I saw a fucking meme on Facebook. It was just like, you guys want to talk about how to defeat a virus? Ask this guy, and it was just like a picture of Magic Johnson, like super spry in his Lakers outfit, just like, yeah.
I saw one with him wearing a mask, and it says like, "Oh, now Magic Johnson wants to wear protection." Come on, guys. But see, that's the fucking.
man.
That's how sick people are.
I
too,
know,
man.
dude. But
There's
we're
a-
laughing at it.
There's
though.
a world pandemic going on, and we still make jokes about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we're sick people too.
Yeah, sickest of them all. Fuck. Okay. All right. Moving on. Anwar Sadat.
Let's see.
The Egyptian president is assassinated. Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt, was assassinated during the annual victory parade held in Cairo to celebrate Operation Badr. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. Badr. Badr. I would imagine Badr. During which the Egyptian army had crossed the Suez Canal and taken back a small part of the Sinai Peninsula from Israel at the beginning of the Yom Kippur War. I really don't know
So that's
anything.
why Yom Kippur is on the calendar.
Is it on the calendar?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's pronounced Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur. Yeah, there you go. YOM space KIPPUR.
Yeah, but there's Yom Kippur.
Yeah. The only thing I know about Anwar Sadat is that there was a joke made about him in I Love You, Man. Jason Segel names his dog Anwar Sadat. He's just like, why'd you name him that? He looks just like him. It's just like it goes like a close up of like the dog, and then to the magazine with Anwar Sadat's face, back to the dog, and he's just like. Let's see. Sandra Day O'Connor nominated as first female Supreme Court justice by President Reagan. President Reagan shaking it up. Put a chick in there. Sandra Day O'Connor, born March 26, 1930. She's an American attorney, politician, and jurist who served as an associate justice of the Supreme Court of the United States from 1981 until her retirement in 2006. She was the first woman to serve on the court. It's crazy. How long? Look up how long the Supreme Court's been around. When did the Supreme Court first start? Search that up real quick.
You know, I was actually watching the news this morning, and they had a thing on there about the one lady. She's 87, and she still serves on there.
Oh yeah.
And I think she just went back into the hospital for something. But man, that's great. 87 years old and still throwing a book at people. But see, the Supreme Court though, that's like up there. That's why it's a panel of like 9 of them.
Yeah, and you're on there for life. You're on there until you either choose to step down or you die.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
the one
Supreme
appointment
Court
that
is
you can't
like
shake.
The Illuminati.
They're all lizard people. But when did the Supreme Court start?
Let's see here. Says
The origin.
The Supreme Court of the United States is the only court specifically established by the Constitution of the United States, implemented in 1789 under
Okay.
the Judiciary Act of 1789.
Okay, so 1789 and 1981. Let's see here. 1981, 1789. Only took 192 years to put a female on the Supreme Court. You know, progress. It's a slow build, but we'll get there, ladies. Don't you worry.
And it used to it used to be only 6 people, but most of history, it's been 9.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because 6, you could have like a split decision, a 50-50 decision.
Yeah, you have to have
We
the
could
odd.
have just done 7,
You
but
have
even
to have
still.
you have to have the odd number. All right, moving on. Disney World opens the Epcot. Do you know what the Epcot Center? Do you know what Epcot actually stands for? Without searching it, I didn't even know it stood for something.
Exploratory planetarium laser and smoke technology. I was there a few years ago, and I don't fucking remember. Actually, it was like 5 years ago already. Shit.
No, yeah, Epcot stands for Experimental Community of Tomorrow. Epcot is a theme park at the Walt Disney World Resort in Bay Lake, Florida. It is owned and operated by the Walt Disney Company through its parks, experiences, and products division. Inspired by an unrealized concept developed by Walt Disney, the park opened on October 1st, 1982 as Epcot Center and was the second of 4 theme parks built at the Walt Disney World after the Magic Kingdom. Spanning 305 acres, more than twice the size of the Magic Kingdom Park, Epcot is dedicated to the celebration of human achievement, namely technological innovation and international culture, and is often referred to as a permanent World's Fair. I will be there in October if they're open.
So you haven't been there?
No. I've never been to Epcot.
I went there.
I
once.
went there. I went to Universal, and I went to Disney when I was like 4, but I don't think we actually went into the Epcot. But then again, I can't even remember.
Yeah.
I do specifically remember, however, my fucking dickhead dad taking me and sticking me in the mouth of the mock-up of Jaws, the huge 30-foot shark that had hanging by the fucking tail. My dad's got that picture somewhere. I know he does. And it's a fucked up picture because it's just him on the side of the shark holding a little boy in there, and you can just see my arms like this because I'm like, ah! And his face, he's got the biggest shit-eating grin on his face, just like, oh, take the picture. Do it. Like, you fucking dickhead. That was so traumatic. I remember that. I know I was 4 when we went, but I remember that. That was probably my first fucking memory. Because I remember that very vividly. Very vividly. I just remember it literally dragging me to the shark because I'm like, he's got me by like the coat, and I'm just like, trying to run away. I'm like reaching for my mom. My mom's back there just like, just fucking laughing at me. Like, fuck, I'm not going to get any help from you either.
That's so good.
I'm going to die. They're feeding me to the shark. This is how it ends. Oh, no.
That's funny.
Oh, man. All right. Japan begins selling the first CD players. Compact disc is a digital optical disc data storage format that was co-developed by Philips and Sony and released in 1982. The format was originally developed to store and play only sound recordings, but was later adapted for storage of data. Several other formats were further derived from these, including write-once audio and data storage, rewritable media, video compact disc, super video compact disc, photo CD, picture CD, compact disc interactive, and enhanced music CD. Jesus, Murphy, that was a lot. The first commercially available audio CD player, the Sony CDP 101, was released October 1982 in Japan. Yeah. I think it's so blatantly racist. I know I probably shouldn't do that.
But it's funny
But
because
it's
we
so
just talked about
funny.
how big of pieces of shit we were.
I know, right? Exactly. But anytime I hear the word Japan, I just have to go.
You have to.
Hey!
Hi.
Mosemase! Sushi for one! All right. We're fucking horrible. Horrible people.
Sorry, Japan doesn't listen to us.
Yeah, it's all right. And if they do, hi. Straight to hell. Straight to hell.
That's so
All
funny,
right,
though.
moving on. Moving into 1983 now, y'all.
Oh,
What?
This is
What?
gonna be good.
Yeah. I know. We're at 83. We're 20. We're almost 30 minutes deep. This is gonna be a long episode. 1983. Sally Ride becomes the first American woman in space. Sally Christian Ride, born May 26, 1951, unfortunately passed away July 23rd, 2012, was an American astronaut and physicist. Born in Los Angeles, she joined NASA in 1978 and became the first American woman in space in 1983. Ride, however, was the third woman in space overall after USSR cosmonauts Valentina Tereshkova and Svetlana Savitskaya. Yeah, those were the first two women in space.
I just picture them looking like the chick from Dodgeball that joins the Cobra team.
The
Stella.
yeah, when he says her name. Oh my god. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to think how he says, and our secret weapon, blah blah blah. Stonorovich. Yeah, that's funny. Motorola introduces the first mobile phones to the United States in 1983. The Motorola Dynatac 8000X commercial portable cellular phone, that is a mouthful, received The Motorola Dynatac 8000X commercial portable cellular phone received approval from the US FCC on September 21st, 1983. A full charged You want to take a guess on how long it took for the battery to fully charge on the first American smartphone?
7 hours.
Nope, higher.
12?
No, it was 10. A full charge took roughly 10 hours, and it offered 30 minutes of talk time.
Wow.
It also offered an LED display for dialing or recall of one of 30 phone numbers. I remember what these. Do you remember what they look like? It's literally a backpack. It's a purse. It's like my lunchbox. It's literally
That's the
like
one I'm thinking of.
it's
then,
the
yeah.
lunchbox. You'd have the strap on, and you'd literally pull the phone out, and it'd have the cord just like the receiver at home. Like that was wild. But hey, man,
How much were they? Does it say?
no. Let me see here. Dynatac.
Probably something fucking stupid too.
At the time, yeah, it was probably like fucking thousands of dollars. Dynatac 8000X original price. Oh my god. So in 1983 this phone was $4,000. 4 G's, people. 4 G's for a fucking crazy ass cell phone. Yeah, whatever. It was the first cell phone though.
Can you imagine how shitty the connection must have been though? Because we still have problems today.
Yeah.
And we have like 5G in
Yeah.
cities and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like that.
But then again, at that time there was no real interference aside from the radio frequencies and the radio frequencies.
yeah.
That was it. There was no Wi-Fi. there was no other phones like crossing, and there was no throttling of internet speed. There was no internet, so it was just all off of fucking wavelengths. I would imagine. That's crazy though. $4,000. Fuck that. Let's see here. Microsoft releases Word, their word processing program. Microsoft Word processor software launched in 1983 by the Microsoft Corporation. Software developers Richard Brody and Charles Simonyi joined the Microsoft team in 1981, and in 1983 they released multi-tool Word for computers that ran a version of the Unix operating system. I've used Word on more than one occasion. The notes that I made for this episode I did on Word. Mm-hmm. So that's one of those kind of things that I don't think that'll ever go away. It'll just keep getting more advanced and advanced. So God bless you for it, because I've done many papers and lots of stuff using Word. Mm-hmm. That's all we had for 83. Kind of a boring year. We'll move into 90. We'll move into 84. Only a couple of things here. The Soviet Union boycotts the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Summer Games. I wonder why. The boycott of the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles followed 4 years after the U.S.-led boycott of the 1980 Summer Olympics in Moscow. The boycott involved 14 Eastern Bloc countries and allies led by the Soviet Union, spoiler alert, which initiated the boycott on May 8th, 1984. Boycotting countries organized another major event called the Friendship Games, sounds lame, in July and August 1984. Although the boycott led by the Soviet Union affected a number of Olympic events that were normally dominated by the absent countries, 140 nations still took part in the games, which was a record at the time. So I like how the Soviet Union was just like, no, fuck that.
Grab ball. We go home.
We'll not play with them. We'll have friendship games ourselves. Yeah, that sounds nice. Don't forget vodka.
And then only
like 10
14,
people showed up.
yeah.
Yeah, 10 people showed up.
While America's over here just like, yeah,
Fucking
party!
raging, setting records and shit. Just
Cracking
like, you
beers,
fucking
yep.
losers.
Throw the fucking dodgeball at the back of his head.
Fun staying cold, bitches. That's funny. The other thing I got here is MTV begins the Video Music Awards, or the VMAs. At the first MTV Music... Oh my god, dude. My brain is just all scattered right now. At the first MTV Video Music Awards in 1984, Madonna performed her hit Like a Virgin, wearing a combination bustier wedding gown, including her trademark boy toy belt. During the performance, she rolled around on the floor, revealing lace stockings and a garter. Cyndi Lauper spoke in Exorcist-esque gibberish to explain the VMA rules right before winning the Best Female Video for Girls Just Want to Have Fun. David Bowie, the Beatles, and director Richard Lester were awarded with the first ever Video Vanguard Awards for their work in pioneering the music video, which God bless them for it, man. That's one thing that I feel like we were just talking about this at practice last night about shooting like a real music video. It's a lost art, man. Music videos were so predominant through the 80s and 90s, even into the 2000s, early 2000s. Like, music videos were a very relevant form of expression, and now it's like, bro, it doesn't help that everybody has a smartphone, so you can literally do it on your phone. It's not going to be the best quality, but you could still shoot a video on your phone.
Sure.
So, like, that obviously, inundates and floods the fucking market with just garbage ass video. So it's, people just get real tired of watching them because it's just like, oh, another fucking video. Okay. So it's like, if you shoot it on professional equipment, though, and it looks proper, people fucking... they'll pay attention. I was just talking to Alex about this too the other day because I was talking to him about trying to do some more content for us and having him follow us around and film us and stuff. And that was the first thing he said. He's just like, man, you can do it with a GoPro, you can do it with your phone, but it's not gonna track the right way. You do it with a professional camera, edit it with professional software. People are gonna pay attention a little bit more. They're gonna respect it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, the VMAs, I always loved the VMAs. At least back in the day. I haven't watched them in years, but again, late 90s, VMAs were fucking lit. They were awesome. All right, we are now halfway through the decade. We are on to 1985. The first version of Microsoft Windows is released. Microsoft introduced an operating environment named Windows on November 20th, 1985 as a graphical operating system shell for the MS-DOS in response to the growing interest in graphical user interfaces. Microsoft Windows came to dominate the world's personal computer market with over 90% market share, which is, dominating. Dominating. I beat you. Watch Storm Chasers. If you don't get that, watch Storm Chasers. Overtaking Mac OS, which had been introduced in 1984, Apple came to see Windows as an unfair encroachment on their innovation in GUI development, as implemented on products such as the Lisa and Macintosh, eventually settled in court in Microsoft's favor in 1993. On PCs, Windows is still the most popular operating system, which I'm finding that hard to believe because Mac has just exploded over the last 15 years, I would say, 15, 20 years. Granted, we're on Microsoft right now, but see, that's the thing. I would much rather be on Mac for sure. When it comes to personal PC use, Microsoft is the way to be, but if you're at all inclined towards editing of audio or video, then there's no question, there's no competition. Mac has got Microsoft beat by a fucking mile and a half and then some. Let's jump into today's sponsor.
Axel Strat is a company built on core values of integrity, sustainability, and innovation, and is passionate about finding solutions for business growth. By working together, they will find activities that add value to your business while creating a framework that is flexible yet structurally sound and allows your business to grow profitably. Alex Weber, founder of Axel Strat, is bringing a new, fresh, organic approach to doing business in today's ever-changing landscape. Equipped with a Bachelor's of Business Administration, Accounting from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, Associates in Music Production and Recording Technology from Madison Media Institute, and coupled with real-world experience as a financial controller, Alex is a leader in business administration using analytical and creative approaches to developing sustainable business growth strategies. Now, right now, our listeners are going to receive 15% off any service for up to the first $300. Yes, you heard that right. 15% off any service for up to the first $300. Let me explain here, folks. Anyone who has looked into any kind of photography, videography, graphic design, branding, social media management knows that it can be a little pricey. Okay, so why pass up on a fantastically ridiculous deal? Again, 15% off to the first $300 when you use the code DMC. Okay, very, very important, guys. Make sure he knows that we're the ones that sent you to him. Otherwise, you will not be able to get this deal. To reach the great staff at Axel Strat, please call 818-585-8742 or send an email to ateam@axelstrat.com. Again, that is ATEAM@axelstrat.com. The number again, 818-585-8742. Prepare yourself to be stratified.
Michael Jordan is named the NBA's Rookie of the Year. Michael Jordan joined the Bulls in 1984 as the third overall draft pick and quickly emerged as a league star, entertaining crowds with his prolific scoring. His leaping ability, demonstrated by performing slam dunks from the free throw line in slam dunk contests, earned him the nicknames Air Jordan and his airness. He also gained a reputation as one of the best defensive players in basketball. Have you watched his documentary? I think it's called The Last Stand.
The Last Dance?
The Last Dance. There you go.
No, I didn't watch it. I listened about it though every day on the radio.
Yeah, dude, I've heard a lot about it. I've heard there's been a lot of backlash from like some of his teammates. Like,
yeah, like Scottie Pippen.
Bro, what
and all
the
them.
fuck, man? I didn't say half of that shit, dog. Like, what
It's
the hell?
pretty
are you
gnarly,
doing?
the shit that people were saying about like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's not true. That's not accurate kind of shit. So yeah, it makes me interested. I should probably watch that. The wreck of the Titanic was discovered in 1985. Titanic sank in 1912. Funny, crazy fact, my great-great-grandma was actually scheduled to be on the Titanic, but for whatever reason, she didn't make the journey to get on the boat because she still had the ticket.
No shit.
Yeah. But yeah, she didn't get on the boat, and then we all know how that went. So crazy to think that if she had gotten on that boat, I might not have been here. I might not be here. Crazy. I didn't even think of that when I was putting this together. Wow.
Yeah, because that whole tree going backwards.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Yeah, my great grandma. So like, if she had gotten on the boat and then died,
yeah,
my grandma wouldn't have been there because she was a child. She was a kid. So like, yeah, my grandma wouldn't have been born. My dad wouldn't have been born. I wouldn't have been born. Fucking wild. But yeah, Titanic sank in 1912 when she collided with an iceberg during her maiden voyage. Numerous expeditions tried using sonar to map the seabed in hope of finding it, but were unsuccessful. In 1985, the wreck was finally located by a joint French-American expedition led by Jean-Louis Michel of Ifremer, and Robert Ballard of the Woods Hole Oceanic. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. I apologize, people. Robert Ballard of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. Jesus Christ. The wreck has been the focus of intense interest and has been visited by numerous expeditions. Controversial salvage operations have recovered thousands of items which have been conserved and put on public display. Yeah, Titanic, it's Titanic. Everybody knows Titanic. Everybody's seen the movie. Mm-hmm. Jack, don't let go. then move the fuck over. Like, they definitely both could have been on that door.
Yeah.
And if they couldn't have been on that door, he could have fucking grabbed one of the life vests off one of the dead bodies that were fucking circling around him. Like, bro, get out of the water. You're going to die.
Yeah.
Fucking jackwagon. All right, that's all I had for 1985. Moving on to 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear reactor explodes in the USSR. The Chernobyl disaster was caused by a nuclear accident that occurred on Saturday, April 26, 1986, at the number 4 reactor in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant near the city of Pripyat in the north of the Ukrainian SSR. It is considered the worst nuclear disaster in history and was caused by one of only 2 nuclear energy accidents rated at 7, the maximum severity on the International Nuclear Event Scale, the other being the 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster in Japan. There's a really good show, actually, about the whole Chernobyl incident. Emily had watched. Just like I was just catching fleeting parts of it, but like it was pretty fucking serious, like where people knew that like if this doesn't get fixed by then, this is gonna happen. And they gave it all their might, and they tried, but they just couldn't do it in time, and yeah, the fucking place melted down. And to this day, man, Chernobyl is still shrouded in infamy. Like, lots of people, the people that'll, you know, that have the balls to venture into the radiation zone. Like, I'm sure the radiation levels have gone down significantly since then, but dude, a nuclear power plant melting
Half-life
down
is pretty gnarly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure it's still very radioactive, but like as far as it was
At
probably
the
not.
time, 40 years ago.
Because at the time, dude, you'd walk out there and you'd just start melting.
Yeah.
You would just start melting. That's so fucking scary. Science. Let's see what else we got. The Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. The spacecraft disintegrated over the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Cape Canaveral, Florida at 11:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The disintegration of the vehicle began after a joint in its right solid rocket booster failed at liftoff. The failure was caused by the failure of O-ring seals used in the joint that were not designed to handle the unusually cold conditions that existed at this launch. The seal's failure caused a breach in the SRB joint, allowing pressurized burning gas from within the solid rocket motor to reach the outside and impinge upon the adjacent SRB aft field joint attachment hardware and external fuel tank. This led to the separation of the right-hand SRB's aft field joint attachment and the structural failure of the external tank. Aerodynamic forces broke up the orbiter. So if you haven't seen it, it was devastating. Also another one of those where were you kind of moments. Because it was on national television. You're watching this launch, and then all of a sudden you just see one little piece fly off, and then the whole thing blows up. And that again really put a dent in America's space program. That's for sure. Because we were pretty hot and heavy. Being the first ones to the moon. Coming up with the first shuttle. The first shuttle that can go out, come back, and land. That was a big deal. So when this orbiter blew up, that really it really left a salty taste in some people's mouths, so to speak. And not to mention it was fucking tragic, man. The entire crew died. They just burnt up immediately. But I suppose in the grand scheme of shit, that would be the way to do it. If you're gonna die in a fucking spacecraft, I would much rather have it just blow up, lights out, than fucking you're in your spacesuit or something, and like the window opens up, and you can see your body just gets crumpled and sucked out the window. Like, fuck that. No, thank you. All right. Keeping it nice and brief. You could tell I was getting tired in my notes because I went from like 4 or 5 different things to now it's just 2 in each one. But we have reached the year 1987. The Simpsons make their debut on the Tracy Ullman Show. The Simpsons, if you don't know who the Simpsons are, get out from underneath that rock. The Simpsons is an American animated television sitcom starring the animated Simpson family, which was created by Matt Groening. He conceived of the characters in the lobby of James L. Brooks' office and named them after his own family members, substituting Bart for his own name. The family debuted as shorts on the Tracy Ullman Show on April 19th, 1987. After a 3-season run, the sketch was developed into a half-hour primetime show called The Simpsons, which debuted on December 17th, 1989. The show was an early hit for Fox, becoming the first Fox series to land in the top 30 ratings in a season. And obviously, you know, the rest is history. The Simpsons is still around to this day.
Yeah.
So fucking damn near 40 years strong, and they don't seem like they're going anywhere.
No.
And especially with their
Ability to predict the future.
yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Their ability to predict the future. I don't think they're gonna be going anywhere anytime soon. So
That's wild, though, man. Some of their
How
episodes,
many like, dude,
some of the shit that they do, it's just
listen,
like, what?
once, twice, okay, that's a lucky coincidence. Third, fourth time, all right. That's
Every
it's
season?
getting pretty weird. after like the 20th time, it was like, bro,
What's really going on here?
where are you getting all this
you
from?
lizard
man?
person too?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Let's see here. Margaret Thatcher is elected as the British Prime Minister for the 3rd time. She entered the record books, becoming the longest continuously serving Prime Minister since Lord Liverpool, which was from 1812 to 1827, and the first to win 3 successive elections since Lord Palmerston in 1865. Despite her 3rd straight victory, she remained a polarizing figure. Yeah, Margaret Thatcher. I don't know much about Margaret Thatcher.
Just know that name.
Margaret Thatcher on a cold day. Yeah. But she was very imposing. She was a very intimidating woman, which is cool, man. Because I mean, after it was Chamberlain, and then a short fight on the beaches. Winston Churchill, and then I forget who came after him. When did she start her stuff here? Stand by. Margaret Thatcher first win. So she got into office. She was elected member of Parliament in 59. The 79. So in his 1970, she defeated 75. So in 1975. So there's a couple more in between her and Churchill. But either way, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive for sure. Let's see here. The Fox Television Network begins operations, launched on October 9th, 1986, as a competitor to the big 3 television networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC. Fox went on to become the most successful attempt at a 4th television network. It was the highest-rated free-to-air network in the 18 to 49 demographic from 2004 to 2012, and earned the position as the most-watched American television network in total viewership during the 2007-08 season. I would imagine there was a lot of sitcoms, a lot of those kind of shows coming out back in the early 2000s, late 2000s. So I suppose that makes sense.
Wasn't Friends on Fox, or was that NBC?
No, I think that was NBC.
Yeah,
That was NBC. Yeah.
Trying to think of what was on around that time.
Yeah.
Like Lost.
Because ABC and CBS were more informative, like news and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had like MASH and
CBS.
like you had
CSI.
yeah.
Law and
I'm
Orders.
talking about back in like the 80s and stuff.
Oh,
ABC, CBS, they were more known for like sports, news, and informative kind of programming.
Yeah.
Whereas NBC was the sitcoms, the TV shows, that sort of shit. And then
they
yeah,
have
Fox,
Saturday Night Live, or did that come out a little bit later?
NBC.
No, didn't it come out in the 80s, right? Or was it in
Saturday
the 70s?
Night Live 70s, yeah.
Oh,
That came out in the 70s. But yeah, that was on NBC though. So yeah, Fox came out and threw their dick in the ring, and they were like, "Come on, bitches, this is all you got. You can do this all day." But yeah, I think Fox, they make a lot of their money nowadays just off news, Fox News. The last little part here. The Master Milker and Cookie Commander were brought into this world. On August 6th and the 15th of the same month, Michael Allen Segovia and Garrett Cornelius Smith, the men, the myths, the legends themselves were brought onto this planet. No one knew it was coming, but You assholes are going to figure it out eventually. Yeah, my birthday's on the 6th. Mike's is on the 15th. Literally a week, just about a week, a little over a week apart from each other. Some might call that kismet. You know? It was a good year. Hell of a year. But that brings us to the end of 87. So let's pop into 1988. The Soviet Union withdraws their troops from Afghanistan. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. Planning for the withdrawal of the Soviet Union from the Afghanistan War began soon after Mikhail Gorbachev became the General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. Under the leadership of Gorbachev, the Soviet Union attempted to consolidate the PDPA's hold over power in the country, first in a genuine effort to stabilize the country, and then as a measure to save face while withdrawing troops. During this period, the military and intelligence organizations of the USSR began work with the government of Mohammad Najibullah to improve relations between the government in Kabul and the leaders of rebel factions. So yeah, we were kind of talking about that a little bit before. Obviously, you know, with the U.S. secretly funneling or siphoning weapons to the Afghans to help them combat the Soviets, that obviously wasn't known until way after the fucking fact. But at least Gorbachev did try to, you know, to do the right thing, because obviously Soviets back in the day were always known as hardliners and always known to shoot first, ask questions later. So the fact that he tried to amicably, peacefully talk with, you know, the government in Kabul really shows some sort of character. So that's a good thing. But obviously that fucking war was horrible. Let's see here. George H.W. Bush is elected as the U.S. president. George Herbert Walker Bush Sr., born June 12, 1924, died November 30th, 2018, was an American politician, diplomat, and businessman who served as the 41st president of the United States from 1989 to 1993. A member of the Republican Party, Bush also served in the U.S. House of Representatives as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, as director of Central Intelligence, and as the 43rd vice president. That's one thing that lots of people don't realize. I was just watching this documentary the other day on basically blacked out ops and blacked out information, essentially. But yeah, George Bush was the director of Central Intelligence. He was the director of the CIA for a while. And it was at that time that everybody had really started to ask questions about releasing UFO documents and stuff like that. And he was always so steadfast on just shutting down those questions, like, immediately. Lots of people in the government were saying, like, hey man, when are you going to declassify this shit? Like, we deserve the right to know. Like, we need
Classify
to know.
what?
Yeah, they pretty much. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I haven't done the meeting. Yeah, exactly. What's that?
There was a gas leak.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly right. You remember when you tell your kid to flush that fish down the toilet when it died? It's like, yeah, it came back, all right? But yeah, I forget what that documentary is called, but it was a good watch. I really enjoyed it. It really makes you think, man. Like, obviously, a lot of the conspiracy stuff, it's really hard to wrap your mind around, just because some of it's just so far-fetched. But there are some conspiracy theories out there that really they're plausible. They're plausible. Not necessarily saying they're possible, but they're definitely plausible, to say the least. And that's fucking scary, man. Let's see what else here. 2 years after the Challenger disaster, NASA space shuttle program resumes. So Challenger was the first of two orbiters that were destroyed in flight, the other being Columbia in 2003. The Challenger accident led to a 2.5-year grounding of the shuttle fleet. Fleets resumed in 1988 with STS-26 flown by Discovery. Challenger was replaced by Endeavour, which was built from structural spares ordered by NASA in the construction contracts for Discovery and Atlantis. So we were just talking about it, you know, the whole Challenger thing blowing up. That was a tragedy. And then, yeah, it completely ceased. It halted all of America's space program, anything. But luckily, people were, you know, able to figure out what the problem really was. Ooh, excuse me. They found out what the problem was. They were able to go back. They fixed it, and then they improved. And then there were some people that had the balls and the courage enough to say, you know what? We're not going to just fucking quit. Let's brush our knees off. Let's get up. Let's try it again. Are you gonna go?
Yeah, right. Getting that call, like, hey, Segovia, you're up on deck. What are you talking about?
For what?
You're next to go to the moon. Where? The moon. What you signed up for?
The moon.
No, I'm good, man.
No. I thought that was
Is that
done.
the wrong number?
I thought that was done. I thought we were done doing that.
Did you?
No. We're good. We fixed it. We found the problem. We fixed it. We just need bodies in the. We need astronauts in the space shuttle. Did you just say bodies in the space shuttle or
Going through a
astronauts?
tunnel.
Right, exactly. You got a bag of chips. You're on base. I know where you are. What's that?
No service on the moon.
You're right. That's funny. That would be wild, though. That would be really wild. All right, moving on. Last year, here we go, 1989. The Berlin Wall is torn down at the end of the Cold War. The Berlin Wall was a guarded concrete barrier that physically and ideologically divided Berlin from 1961 to 1989. Construction of the wall was commenced by the German Democratic Republic on August 13th, 1961. The wall cut off West Berlin from surrounding East Germany, including East Berlin. The barrier included guard towers placed along large concrete walls, accompanied by a wide area later known as the Death Strip that contained anti-vehicle trenches, beds of nails, and other defenses. The Eastern Bloc portrayed the wall as protecting its population from fascist elements conspiring to prevent the will of the people from building a socialist state in East Germany. Obviously, we were talking about it before we started recording. Again, coming back to Reagan, coming back to Hollywood. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Like that was a very, very, very significant time in history because that's the wall represented, in my opinion, the old guard. You know, that was old fear trying to protect for the future, which I can understand your whole idea and motivation to try to protect the future. Mm-hmm. However, you're not protecting the future if you're preventing it to evolve. So that wall being there was just it was a big setback in the development, not only financially but socially in that country. So yeah, I'm really glad that the Berlin Wall got torn down, and it'd be something to find somebody that has like a brick or just like a piece of the chunk.
Oh, I'm
or a
sure
chunk.
there's people over there that got
I'm
some.
sure millions. But yeah, just to hold it in your hand kind of thing. I'm a big sucker for that sort of shit. Just to stand in the same spot where I know something happened. I'm a big sucker for that sort of shit. So anytime I can get my hands on stuff like that, it's just like
yeah. Sometimes you can like feel the energy.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you really can. And like you can call it what you want. You can make fun of me all you want. I don't give a shit. But like I know how I feel in those certain situations, and it's a powerful thing. It is. It moves you. Let's see here. The Exxon Valdez oil tanker spill. The Exxon Valdez oil spill occurred in Prince William Sound, Alaska, March 24th, 1989, when Exxon Valdez, an oil tanker owned by Exxon Shipping Company, bound for Long Beach, California, struck Prince William Sound's Bly Reef, a mile and a half west of Tatulek, Alaska, at 12:04 a.m. and spilled 10.8 million U.S. gallons of crude oil over the next few days. It is considered the worst oil spill worldwide in terms of damage to the environment. The Valdez spill is the second largest in U.S. waters after the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil spill in terms of volume released. Prince William Sound's remote location, accessible only by helicopter, plane, or boat, made government and industry response efforts difficult and severely taxed existing response plans. The region is a habitat for salmon, sea otters, seals, and seabirds. The oil, originally extracted at the Prudhoe Bay oil field, eventually affected 1,300 miles of coastline, of which 200 miles were heavily or moderately oiled. That's so disgusting. But I can't complain because I use oil. I use it in my gas. I use it in the heater or whatever. Like, dude, it's so disheartening that we're still stuck on oil as our crude power source. I need fucking Tony Stark right now. Like, we need the arc reactor, or something of the sort. And I'm sure
that's why Elon Musk is doing those little electric cars.
Yeah,
with
man,
Tesla.
Absolutely. Like,
it's gonna catch on soon.
Oh yeah,
it's right
we're
now,
right there. We're right there.
Yeah,
we're
right
on
now
the
it's
precipice
just-
where the technology is there.
It's just
We
a
just
little
need to
expensive
figure
yet.
out. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not as cost effective, but as long as we have these billionaires like Elon Musk willing to invest their money into the private sector, well, not even the private sector, but into themselves,
sector.
into themselves to better the fucking future of this species, because it's not like it's just gonna help us. Like it's gonna help the world. It's gonna help the planet. So
Yeah.
So yeah, but just 10.8 million gallons. Like that is so much oil, bro. That's so much oil. Ooh.
That Deep Horizon is a movie. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Marky Mark, represent. All right, last thing we got here. The Nintendo Game Boy portable video game system is released. Whoop, whoop. The Game Boy is an 8-bit handheld game console developed and manufactured by Nintendo.
Manufactured by Nintendo.
Manufactured by Nintendo. The first handheld in the Game Boy family. It was first released in Japan on April 21st, 1989. Then America 3 months later, and lastly in Europe over a year later. It was designed by the same team that developed the Game & Watch and several Nintendo Entertainment System games. So, okay, all right, bear with me here. Satoru Okada, Gunpei Yoki, and Nintendo and Nintendo Research and Development one. I remember very, very vivid fond memories of the Brick, that big blocky gray piece of shit. But
Yep,
oh
play
man,
Paperboy on it all the time.
dude, my
Home
my
Alone.
jam was Street Fighter, playing the original Street Fighter, Legend of Zelda, and Tetris.
Yeah.
Those were my 3 jams, and I'm telling you, those fucking games did not leave my pocket. I'm telling you, that thing went everywhere. I kind of want to get. I should get another handheld console thing, man. I kind of miss it. Not gonna lie.
get
Like
the
I watch.
Switch.
That's what I'm saying. But the Switch is so cumbersome. It's so big, But I suppose like you get a PSP, it's the same thing.
I don't think they don't make them anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things were trash, anyways. But yeah, maybe I will get a Switch. Who knows? Because yeah, I'll watch Emily. I've seen her do it a couple of times where she'll just stuff it in her purse.
Yep.
And we'll be out, and she'll just start whipping. And it's just like, I want to play video games. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for the 80s, man. The 80s were a hell of a decade. I will say that for sure.
Yeah.
It was a weird time, man. It was a lot of change. It was a lot of change. And I mean, obviously it can all be said for the 50s, for the 60s, for the 70s. It can be said for every decade, but obviously the 80s are near and dear to my heart just because I was born in the 80s. Granted, it was late 80s. I still got some of that 80s taste, though. If you see some of my fucking kid pictures, holy shit. Like, you take a picture. If you looked at the picture and said, take a guess at what decade this kid was born in, if you get it wrong, you're a retard. Like, you are truly talked. Like, just from what I was wearing and the fact that, like, I had a curly mullet. Like, come on, baby. That screams 80s. Screams 80s.
I mean, a lot of those trends from the 80s are still around today, too.
Mm-hmm.
Spandex.
Mm-hmm.
People, ripped knees, lacy shirts, leg warmers. I don't know about leg warmers so much,
Oh,
but
yeah. You're right. You go to the right places.
high-waisted jeans. I noticed that.
Those are coming
those
back. Yeah, which are so stupid. So dumb.
Neon colors. I don't think that ever really went away.
No, but definitely not like it was.
No.
Where you're talking like Miami Vice,
Yeah.
like neons, which, oh God, people. I know, hopefully some of you guys saw the little teaser clip we put out, but me and Mike did our photo shoot for season 2, and that was us on our way to the shoot. You guys figure it out. It's good. It's such a great picture, you guys. Such a great picture, y'all. I can't wait to release that, but that's going to be another few episodes yet.
So if you had to take a guess at the number 1 Billboard song from 1987.
From 1987?
Yep, out of all the songs that you can think of. I know you won't get it because I sure as fuck, when I saw it, I was like, ooh, okay. I mean, once I heard it, I was like, okay. I mean, I knew the song. I should say once I saw what it
Is
was.
it by Michael Jackson?
Nope.
Meatloaf?
Nope. Michael Jackson and Meatloaf aren't even in the top 10.
U2?
Nope. They don't come in until 15.
I got nothing, man.
You ever heard of the Bangles?
The Bangles, yeah, I think so.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Oh, walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah, I was like, what? But then it came in there, followed by Heart with Alone at number 2. Gregory Abbott, Shake You Down at number 3. Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
I wanna dance
Yep,
with
see?
somebody.
Starship, number 5, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. And then, the list goes on. There's
Yeah.
Bon Jovi, number 10 at Living on a Prayer.
Yes.
I saw that. I was like, really, only 10? Come on.
That's still one of my favorite fucking memories, dude. Me and
that
you,
was-
bro. That shit was so random. It was just so. It was so random. That's what makes that so funny. Me and Mike were just randomly driving. We were coming back from work, I think, back when we were working for my dad, and we're in the car, and fucking "Shot to the Heart" by Bon Jovi comes on, and like we're both tired. We're quiet. We're just taking the ride back home. Shot to the heart, and then like before he could even finish the sentence, Mike was like, "Yes!" and like threw like the actual arm pump and everything, dude. Oh my god, I geeked so hard, and I still laugh about that, and I do it now too. Whenever that song comes on, and I'm with somebody. Yes.
What are you doing? You wouldn't get it.
Shut up. Yeah, you
So,
wouldn't understand.
You watch cartoons growing up then, obviously. What are some of the cartoons that you remember from the 80s?
From the 80s, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats.
You ever watch The Real Ghostbusters?
Yeah. That was a bad cartoon.
Inspector Gadget?
Oh, yeah. How did I miss that one?
DuckTales?
Dude. Oh.
You said Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. No, I didn't say Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's just a given.
But yeah, that is a given.
The Care Bears. I didn't watch it, but
No.
the Care Bears are they're still around today.
Yeah,
Yeah. That never went
they're
anywhere.
called Teletubbies now.
Garfield and Friends.
Yeah.
My goodness. Danger Mouse.
Dude. Danger Mouse.
There's some of these that I haven't even seen.
Bro, I need to go back and try to find some of these. Holy shit. Tapping into parts of my brain I haven't used in a while.
There's some that
Danger Mouse, bro.
yeah. There's
DuckTales. Fuck.
there's a lot of them that I had forgotten about, and then on occasion they'll just pop up somewhere, like just on Facebook, like a snippet, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
'Cause,
use
yeah,
that
just-
part of your brain where you're like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude. It's weird how the brain works like that. Just covered in fucking bong resin and everything, dude. It's like literally when you have those thoughts, I can just imagine the little neuron in your brain just like, it's like tied up and it's finally just like, ah!
So some popular movies from 1987: Superman: The Quest for Peace, Spaceballs, always a classic.
Mm-hmm.
The Untouchables, which is a great
Dude,
movie.
yeah, absolutely. Top Gun.
86.
Never Ending Story. Fucking Beetlejuice.
These movies,
Outsiders.
The Goonies, The Princess Bride.
Right?
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. It's, yeah.
the movies that were made back
Ferris
in the 80s
Bueller's
too.
Day Off. The Shining.
The 80s, I think
Breakfast Club.
what's so big about the 80s is that it's-
Roadhouse.
dude,
Full
it's-
Metal Jacket. Dirty Dancing.
Everything is just
They're
still
all
relevant.
good. They're all.
Everything is still relevant.
I went golfing with my dad on Monday. Batman, 89. Duh. I went golfing with my dad on Monday, and we were just talking about this because he said something because I was playing good. It was the first time I'd gone out in a couple years, so like I wasn't holding my breath. I wasn't expecting too much. I just wanted to make sure I was hitting the ball good. I wasn't really too concerned about my score, but there was a couple of holes where I was playing real solid, real good hits. Put myself in good position. My chips and my putts were all on point, and I made a par. I parred one of the holes, one of the harder holes. I parred it, and my dad was just like, "So, you're saying there's a chance?" And like I started laughing because I knew that was from Dumb and Dumber, and we started talking about it, and I was just like, "Dude, and I mean, granted, Dumb and Dumber came out in the 90s, but even still, I feel like the 80s and the 90s, up until like 97, 98, from like 1980 to 1998, the best movies came out in those years.
Hackers?
Without fucking forget about it, buddy. Like, forget about it. It's yeah. If you don't agree with that, you're kind of weird. Because dude, Die Hard, Ghostbusters, The Great Outdoors, fucking Poltergeist, bro, Coming to America, Platoon. The list goes on and on and on. And the cool thing, like you were just saying, the cool thing about all of those fucking movies is they all stand up. They all stand up. Like, you can watch those movies right now and still be just as entertained as any new movie that came out.
I think a lot of it has to do with, at that time, it was so many, changes and advances that, movies really got good.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they did.
I mean, sure, there's a couple movies from the 70s. I think, like, The Warriors is from the 70s, which is a great fucking movie,
Call classic, man.
But, like you said, from that block of, like, 1980 to fucking 1998, those movies that came out molded our society today because of we watch these movies and we still to this day there's snippets like all the Austin Powers movies. I still say lines from those movies and I use those memes all the time. Like Austin Powers to me growing up, like that's a staple of my childhood is Austin Powers because I love that fucking movie, that whole series. And I think as now when we move forward into the next 10 years for this decade, I mean, so far it's started off like shit.
Yeah, 2020, you are off to a
but
rough start.
with what has happened this year, it could provide some real changes that can have people that are in 40 years in the future talking about, man, the 2020s, the roaring 2020s, could turn out to be something else. I don't know, man.
We'll see. But we'll see.
We got some famous people that were born in 1987.
What do you got?
Well, I like how they put it as
Us.
But the number one they have on here, which is a stud, Zac Efron. Let's see some people that you might know. Michael B. Jordan. Blake Lively. I think she was married to Ryan Reynolds, or she still is married to Ryan Reynolds. Bow Wow. Let's see. Becky Lynch. Oh, she is so hot. You know who she is?
Yeah.
Oh, she's so hot. Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey was born in 87?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Same age.
Yeah, some of these are like YouTube stuff. Snooki.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's not a lot of cool people on this list, to be honest with you.
Except for us.
Dude, I'm looking at them. This is like most of these people I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
Reality TV stars, that's why. YouTube stars, I don't pay attention to them.
Nope.
Yeah, pop singers I don't listen to. Twitch star, I don't fucking care. Yeah, we're the coolest people from 19. Well, Zac Efron's pretty damn cool.
I was
too.
gonna say Zac Efron is actually
He's
really
actually
cool.
really cool.
Yeah, he's actually really cool. Yeah, man. The
80s
80s
were pretty lit.
Yeah, that's yeah. I would have to concur, Doctor.
Willow?
What's that?
I said Willow.
But yeah, right. I heard they're supposed to remake that movie, which would be weird. I wonder who would play Val Kilmer's part.
Val Kilmer. He'll get skinny.
I already know that Peter Dinklage would play fucking the little guy's part. I forget what his name is in real life. Is the dude that played fucking R2D2? Something Baker.
Oh,
something
yeah.
Baker.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of rambling on now. I suppose we should wrap this up. My little recap through the years took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but turned out all right. So in the meantime, boys and girls, go swing by Facebook, facebook.com. Go like and share Dipping Milk in Cookies. You go and like and share the Master Milkers solo page. Go like and share the Cookie Commander solo page, please. And thank you. Means a whole lot. You can catch us on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Guys, if you are listening to us on YouTube, be sure to the page, all right? So that helps gain attention from the YouTube algorithm, which helps us push to new markets and stuff. So make sure you guys go like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Any content, concerns, comments, rude remarks, anything you want, send it to the email, which is dippingmilkincookies@gmail.com. Again, DIPPINGMILKINCOOKIES@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, motherfuckers, man. Next week, I don't have my notebook handy. I don't know what we're doing next week, but I do know that we already have it figured out. So
Yeah. What was it? It was
yeah,
I think it's the
can't remember.
versus one. I think it's the
That's the
villains.
villain versus. That's right. So yeah, look out for that. That's gonna be a fun
Should
one.
we do it like you were talking about in the last one? Like pick 2 people and then put them like on a neutral like fighting zone. Say like we'll just do Batman, Iron Man again, but we'll say we'll throw them on like Planet Hulk, and then take into consideration like whatever that gravity and all that stuff is. Like, you want to get crazy with it? Or you just want to kind of talk about who our favorites?
No. We'll talk about who our favorite villains are, but I think how we should do it, how we should approach it this time is we'll do 2 scenarios: the villain in their home turf, and then your villain in their home turf.
Sure. Okay.
That's how we should do it. Because I mean, honestly, when we did that one with Batman and Iron Man, like, there's no real winner. Like, we know who would win in their world. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point in trying to see who would win. But we can do it though from both perspectives. How it would happen, how they would do it.
Sure.
All right, but yeah, we got to get out of here. Again, go like and share the pages. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. And yeah, everybody be good. Stay safe. Stay healthy, guys. Fucking love everybody. All right, just do that for me. Do that for us, please. Don't take anything for granted. Don't let anything fleet. All right. We love you. I love you.
Love you too, bro.
All right. We will catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.
Produced by the Dank Mob.